It's so lovely to have David Shah with us, who is...
every year, we've been years together.
Yeah, I know,
God.
David. So lovely. But why don't you present your publications in your stables to us?
Well, I think everybody knows who I am. And, you know, I started publishing in 1988. I've been in publishing since 1973. And I started View, but I was fortunate enough because everybody told me you can't start a magazine without money, and no bank would give me money because the only collateral was the paper in the magazine. So I became a consultant. And luckily, becoming a consultant for a very big menswear company who was international taught me to understand the business, because I had to go and see buyers at Dressman, buyers at MQ, who had a different perspective. So I understood through that what they needed to know.
Yeah.
And that became the principle of my magazine. And when we started in 1988, we were a sensation. I gave my Paris agent a heart attack. Because we came out with 6-point print, nobody could read it. But we had queues at Premier Vision. Nobody's seen anything like it. Because I decided then that this was a product for the business. It would be designed for the business. I made it like the business. I printed it in Hong Kong because all the clothes were made in Hong Kong. I flew over with the Flying Tigers. Would they ever arrive in time for Premier Vision? All the rest of it. And so it was designed and marketed in that way. And of course, being extraordinarily successful in the 90s and 2000s, we were huge. I got a bit cocky, and I didn't change things, you know. Then COVID came along, and then my daughter came in the company. And that was a radical problem because she is a millennial and I am a super boomer, like everybody, boomers forever. And that, of course, we had a few discussions about how the magazine should be. And thank God she came into the company and she made me realize that this market was not all about David Shah and his friends from the 1990s. It was changing rapidly. And so she changed the magazine, she changed the format, she changed whatever it is. And of course, what she woke me up to was how valid sustainability was to this market, and that we really needed to cover it in a big way. But of course, I wanted to cover it in an interesting way, which was not lectures and worthy discussions at conferences, but about really what's news in it, what's exciting, what's interesting in it. So we make it as a business. And so View is really constructed like the business. So we start with a forecast issue, which is my last issue, which is one just come out. And we are forecasting for you. So it's for your designers. It's also for fabric companies. It's for everybody. We are a very textile company. We love textiles, and that is our unique niche. People keep asking me, why don't you go digital and all the rest of it? We are an analog product. We have, of course, a digital site with mode information, but we are essentially analog at heart, all our products, because we believe in quality and the fabrication of the whole thing. So we also ask questions your designers would ask. What do I need to do this season? What are the colors? What are the looks? What are the fabrics I should be choosing? And how should I apply that to me? So, as I say, the beginning of the magazine is all about the sustainability part of it. And actually it's quite exciting because actually I find I have very talented people, but I learn from this so much. People are doing the most amazing things. Maybe they don't make $1 million out of it, but it's a pleasure to talk about these people. I just admire their tenacity. Their will to change the things, which is very difficult to change in fashion. So we love to do this. But really, the business becomes, listen, what is going on in the business? What is the concept? Why? Because there's no point in telling you what to do unless you explain why you need to do it, what you need to do, and how you need to sell it. Those are the 3 parameters of trends. I know I shouldn't use the word trends because trends is not in. I'm sorry to say this. Everybody says trends are over. It's not true. Trends are not over. We are in an information business. If you don't want to call it trends, call it zeitgeist, call it directions. I don't care what you call it, but we need direction. And I tell you, anybody who starts a collection needs a starting point, a map reference, and we are a map reference where to start. You develop in your own way, but you know. And I remember being on a train from Premier Vision a few years ago, and I was watching somebody read View. And my wife was kicking me. Don't. I said, excuse me. And so I asked, what do you think of View? And they looked at me like, who is this weird guy? And I said, well, actually, I publish it. And they were very nice, and they said, listen, very French. I won't do the French, but anyway, listen. We don't need the information, but what we take it for is the confirmation. We just want to be sure we're not missing something. Was there something we should know? And we love we trust you. And that's the question. We have a lot of trust going back to the business. Yeah. So when we do a trend, we explain where it comes from. Exactly. Sorry, I should hold it up and all the rest of it. So where it comes from, the concept behind it. The pages don't even open. Then, of course, really the color. I mean, somebody asked me today why I don't print color cards from this. And then we do the look and all the rest of the look of the whole story, and then how to make it happen. So this is the forecast issue. So we're talking about where it all comes from. And listen, I don't care what people say. We all look at the catwalk. I don't care. It is the beginning of all things. It's genesis of the fashion business. So it's looking at the catwalk and putting lots of pictures on the internet, but there's really analysis of the catwalk. So we really do analyze what is going on in the catwalk and really explain why it's relevant and why we chose that and what it means to your business. And then after the catwalk, I do a review, menswear, womenswear. I do a review of all the fabrics that's sold in the season. We are very famous for our fabric photography, which is extraordinarily expensive, but we have to do it because we are hand in hand with Gli Italiani. And we all know in this business the whole Milano Unica story, Prima Vision story. The Italians are the creators of textiles. Not the only ones, but really run this kind of business. So we're very, very close with the Italians, and we have all the best textiles, the best yarns from Prato, Biella, Como, you name it. They are all in our magazine. So I'm very proud of our collaboration. They love to work with us. They love to give us the things. So I think we present you with the best that there is. And of course, at the end of the magazine, we do casual wear, we do women's wear, we do men's wear, all about telling you what's going to happen. And at the end, we like to have a little bit of inspiration. One of your guests today was telling me, oh, well, you know, you got very inspirational and not mechanical. I said, oh, really? But we still like to keep the inspiration because there are levels, and there are so many micro trends today, and I don't pretend to keep up with the micro trends. I mean, it's a baseball cap, it's this, it's a fisherman's sweater, whatever is in gown. I don't pretend to do that. I pretend to work with companies who need a structure, plan, make offshore, wherever it is, and need a structure in the whole thing. So that's what we're good at. And of course, this one is really, you know, the magazine of a show coming up next. What is actually happening? Really, we make it. So that's the forecast, and this is the commercialization. Real fabric, real looks, real trend, and we cover women's wear and men's wear, and we cover casual wear and athleisure. Having talked about casual wear, I come on to this product. This is not very typical of our publishing, but as I said, I worked in the business. I made suits. So
Many
wear
suits.
the suits. Hello, we're wearing
we're
suits.
coming back to
Hello,
suits.
we're coming back to the suits. No, we're not coming back to suits in the old way. And then in my life, I sort of worked with Adidas and people like that, and so suddenly, of course, the dirty word athleisure arrived. So everyone got confused between casual, denim, athleisure, and all the rest of it. And now that word doesn't, because it's all hybridized. But I suddenly got involved in making athleisure.
Athleisure.
What should I call it?
Zip.
You haven't got a word for it.
Athleisure,
anyway,
yeah. Casual athleisure.
It's a new hybrid sport, whatever you want to call it. And I must say, the junior team, Olivia, is very involved in this. I'm very, very proud of this. It took some evolution, and again, it was about really learning what this market needs. And there are two parts to the market. There are people who want paint by numbers. So draw me the picture and tell me color 1, color 2, color 3, really, really didactic. Yeah. And that's a very important part of the market. And I understand that because as the world of textiles becomes even more global, not everybody is as sophisticated as the Swedes and the Scandinavians and the Italians, but they still want very basic information. So You have that story from the Far East and new countries coming into it, Morocco, North Africa, and the rest of it, but they need things very simple. Tell me how to do it. So this book is very much telling you how to do it. Here is the story, why we chose the story. Then we tell you about what is going on in the story, so the influences, why we chose the story, so you understand where it comes from, and then straight into the whole story, you know, who is making it, who are the brands who are doing it, so you've got confirmation. It's not just David Shah and the team deciding that the look is this, there are other big brands doing it, so really confirming that there are brands doing it, and then we get into what the look should feel like. Very, very simple. The color card.
With real swatches.
The real swatches. It's a real good, simple tool. This is not about something like Anastasia does, which is so beautiful. You know, it's nothing about inspirational. It is really how to use it, how to make it. And my God, how to do the menswear in it, how to do, you know, the women's wear looks in it. We do the children as well, the trims, everything is there for you. So this has been a huge success. A, because of the market, but B, because of its simplicity, and that's so.
It's clever.
I'm very proud. I consult in athleisure wear and the rest of it, but I'm very proud of the team who makes this. They're all much younger than me, of course.
But it's also very rich. People think
Yes.
they get so much content.
And somebody made a very good point, do the children as well, because it's not necessarily a children's book, but today, children's wear and adult wear is the same thing, especially with sport.
Yeah.
Everybody wears a tracksuit, everybody wears this,
Yes.
whatever the age group. So it's really
And the kids
universal age. Yeah, so it's not really great. But I mean, it's like mum and dad wear. So it's been. I'm very proud of the team. It's not been me, it's been them, and they've done a really good job.
Do you want to say something about the Bible
Yes.
here?
The Bible. This is the best-selling color card in the world. Ta-da, ta-da, and it is. It might not
You
be
can
in
buy it from
Sweden,
ColourHouse.se.
This is a story. I should actually start with this one, because when I met Louise and Annalena, I started a product called Viewpoint. And this was like, they didn't have these kind of next trend speeches, right? You remember? It was just very new, it was very 90s. And we started thinking about branding strategy, which was like not part of fashion. It was all like, you know. So we started about branding strategy, and I started with Martin Raymond. He was the first to make the product with me. And we started doing a whole thing about, oh, we like your speeches, Dave, why don't you make a magazine about all this? So we made a magazine. And that's how we started. And of course, now there are 3,000 gurus in the world, right? And there are 3,000 gurus in the world, and they're just as clever as anybody else, me, anybody. So it's just a question of where you go. So we moved from, and remember, I made Viewpoint Color in 1991 with Lee Edelcourt and Anton Bake, and that was a huge success, but for various reasons, that fell out of the market. And then I decided after Viewpoint Design to come back to Viewpoint Color. Now, this is the point I want to make. There are two types of product. There is the tool and there is the inspiration. And View is tool and inspiration. This is tool and this is inspiration pure. This is for people like Louise and Annalena who go around giving everybody advice. But who is giving advice to the people who give advice? So this is a product designed to inspire the inspirers. That means it's niche. So if you're looking for simple solutions, don't come here. But if you're looking for, what's inspire me? What should I be thinking about? What is my feeling? You know, what is coming next? What is this on the site, guys? Then this is, it's very beautiful. We sell it like crazy to art museums. We are, you know, you name it, from Milan Triennale to Amsterdam Stedelijk. We are in the magazine. We talk about color in a very, very honest way. It is related to the color planet, which I talk about later, but it's very, very related. So there is a didactic sense about the color, but with the color comes a whole lot of intellect. Why the color? What are we doing with the color? And we think this is very important because I think the world has forgotten how to deal with color. In the 90s, everybody had a color manager, and you know, you name it, Volvo, they had a color manager, and this. then the color kind of disappeared. We all went into concrete and grey and
CMF.
less is more. Yeah,
Hidden into the material.
yeah, and then suddenly, so we believe that color is so today important. So this has been revamped, changed. It's looking not only at the color, but the philosophy of color for material, interior, and fashion, and the reason why to do. So this starts the thinking, and this baby is, I make it with Pantone, and we've been doing this. Chris said this morning, oh my God, I don't know. This is my 56 color planner. That's a lot of years.
Doesn't show.
And it's been a very strong relationship with Pantone. We are long partners, and of course, they have a 6 million Instagram following, so it's a very big tool. This is really, for me, idiots like me. You know, you don't need to be, I'm so clever to understand. This is a color tool, and it's very simple. The color tool. Okay, in the beginning, we talk about what colors are in for the season, where they were before, how they have evolved. We show you the big palettes by color story. All right, this is by family, and then there's one by color story, etc., etc. But that's not important. What it is you just get a simple answer straight away. We tell a story, a concept. This has been massive, this story. We sold 5 cards in half an hour, all to the lingerie business, because they saw groupings of colors, because they said, what's happening in lingerie? What's going on? You know, we can't just keep doing white and pink and they saw this, they were, oh my God, gold and black in lingerie. Give me back the sex of life. So we are about providing. So I can tell you, we merchandise color. Here are the core colors, because you don't want 64 colors in your range, you want 16. But how do we get to the 16 is the secret. So we take the 4 colors, this is the core part, and then we merchandise it. How am I going to drop these colors into my store? I start with the 4 core colors, which run through the whole season, and then I make additions and add to the color, so I make it look new. So let's talk about the summer season. So I need an Easter drop. Then I need a May drop, high season, you know, holiday and all the rest. So we start to do that. And of course, this was quite completely revolutionary. I mean, beautiful color. I mean, this is a sophisticated story, but now this is the key. You don't have to be a genius. I can be a car maker, a swatch maker. I can be a watchmaker. We run all over the place with all, because these are the colors, and this is how you put it together. And you make your face dial in this, and you make your watch, your straps in this, and you do that and in that. End of story. And we are very, very famous for our harmonies. How we make 4 colors into 8 colors, and we solve your problem. So this is really, really a beautiful product, and this is a very sophisticated color card. But we'll try again to be commercial and to take you forward. And, you know, this is another story. We did, talking about Scandinavian beige and tired beige mums, we realized that, you know, basic colors are still important, but we modernize it. We give it a finish. Like, oh my God, it's not boring black and white. It's got colors of black and white. It's got finishes on black and white. How do we modernize? We bring metallics into black and white. We absolutely make it relevant, but give it a dimension. So we're in your business to help you sell. And I hope we help you sell. I hope we help you sell. And then, you know, it's common sense. You don't need, and then, you know, wow, hello, genius. Just throw in the red, and then you've got a very sexy, suddenly, look, which is very basic. So, merchandising, color intelligence, sensible. We try to be sensible. Nothing.
May I add the practical? Because the box at the end is the toolbox that designers
Yes, my love of Pantone. So all these very expensive color cards have swatches all over the place. We don't. We just go to our friends in Carlsberg, New Jersey, and say, send your Pantone swatches. So every color is related to the real Pantone color and the Pantone swatch in the back of the box.
And you also get it digital, so you can.
Yes, and that's her fault. not happy with me killing myself. You have to make digital. You have to put every photo in a digital form. You have to give me so everybody can take the photo, like whatever photo it is. I don't know which one it is, this photo or that photo, and I can use it in their presentations. And then you have to make a film, and all the rest of it. You make me spend money. Awful.
You just said you were very successful with this globally. Oh, so, okay.
I'm not saying you have to double your sales next season. Thank you for the time.
We love to support our partners.
I'm very proud of this product. It's very simple. There's so many clever color cards and from very famous French houses and the rest of it. But this is just aggressively priced for an aggressive job. Do it. And that's why it's so successful.
Twice a year.
Twice a year.
David Shah, fantastic. We'd love to hear.
Thank you, girls, for all your help.
Yeah, lovely.
In bankrupting me.
Well, meeting
Thank you for inviting me.
having your products here, and to be able to show the audience out there what they looks like inside. So now you know better. So thank you, and we say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.